Alright, so today I'd like to show you how I make arroz con pollo, the famous arroz con pollo. There's a lot of different styles of arroz con pollo. You got Puerto Rican style, Cuban style, Dominican style, Mexican style, all sorts of styles of arroz con pollo, rice and chicken. Those that know me know I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. So I'm going to show you my style of making it that I learned and, using my own method. Very easy, very delicious. Alright, so let's get started. Let me show you the ingredients and what you need. Alright, so when you make arroz con pollo, you can use any part of the chicken you want. In this instance, I have chicken breast here that I cut up, just, into cubes. And here is a thigh. I took the bone out of this one and also cut it up into cubes. I left some of the fat in. Judging by it, I want more chicken, so I'm going to take care of this other chicken breast. Got a little bit of, I want some fat in it for flavor. And you can just cut it into chunks like that. That'll also help it cook up quicker. Alright? When my mom would do arroz con pollo, sometimes she would do it with the bone in still, into the thigh meat. Or she would do it with leg meat as well. So either way, you can keep the bone in, you can take the bone out. I'm going to keep the bone out. Oh, I'm going to not leave the bone in this case. I'm going to take it out because I need to make stock. So that's why I was trying to get this bone out, because I want to save these bones to make stock later on in the week. So you can get the bone out, or you can buy it deboned, whatever is easier for you. And again, you can use all breast meat, you can use leg, you can use thighs, you can use whatever you want for your arroz con pollo. Just want to get all the meat off the bone, or as much as I can. I actually leave a little bit so that the stock cooks out with a little meat as well. Alright, so that's there. Put that to the side. I'm going to take some of the fat off, like I said. Leave some of it on. That's fine. And same thing, turn it into cubes. Okay, have some sinew in there that I can take out later. Alright, so that's plenty of chicken. A mix of chicken breast and chicken thigh. I'm going to season this. I'm going to let it set in the fridge while I take care of the vegetables. And that's also what I need to show you. I'm going to show you my seasonings and also the vegetables that I'm going to add. Oh, and I'm going to show you the other stuff you need. Where am I going? What's wrong with me? Alright. Alright, so into my chicken, I've added salt, black pepper, coriander, ground coriander, a dash of paprika, some oregano, some onion powder, some garlic powder. I'm trying this brand for the first time. It's organic. The hipsters will be happy. Then I'll punch them in the face. And some anatto. How much of each, I, again, kind of hesitate to tell people because people have different preferences. I would say with the salt and pepper as a base, like a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. Then everything else according to what you like. Okay, so I'm going to give these a mix. And there's actually people that don't season their chicken before they make arroz con pollo. They figure that the chicken would be seasoned together with the rice and the vegetables. So, I season my chicken first. Alright? So now I'm going to stick this in the fridge. It'd be nice if we did it overnight, but I'm hungry now on a Sunday afternoon. So we're going to let this sit in the fridge for 15-20 minutes while I work on the rest of the ingredients, which I haven't showed you yet. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have onion, garlic, some bell pepper, and some tomato sauce. We'll go over the seasonings again. Alright, covering the other ingredients, or let's talk about the seasonings again. So salt, black pepper, coriander, paprika, anatto, garlic powder, onion powder, and oregano. Okay? All to your taste. Let's get those out the way. You're going to need an 8-ounce can of some sort of Spanish style tomato sauce. I will use this brand. Please don't sue me. You're also going to need olive oil, of course. I'm going to use this brand for our rice. And as I told you before, always keep your sofrito or recaito in the back of the fridge, half frozen. This one is like a little more than half frozen. That's why it got really, really dark, but it's fresh. Don't be afraid if the color changes to your sofrito recaito. Okay? Anytime it freezes or half freezes, it gets darker. You test it by giving it a whiff. It smells delicious. We're going to use 2 to 3 tablespoonfuls. Okay? Let us go on to the vegetables. Here I have half of a medium to small size onion chopped up. You can use red, you can use white, you can use yellow, doesn't matter. Here's 2 cloves of garlic that I chopped up. Here's a couple of slivers of bell pepper. I took, this was like 4 or 5 slivers, different colors. Chopped them up. I would actually like a little more bell pepper in it, but I forgot to grab when I went to the market. So we'll make do with these. Okay? Of course, you're going to need rice. I'm going to show you the amount of rice. And I'm also going to show you how there's a difference in terms of how much water you're going to use for this rice. I've discussed in the past that the general rule for rice and water is 1 portion of rice to 2 portions of water. But that chicken that we have seasoned, it's going to release water into the pot. These vegetables are going to release water into the pot. And I think I've showed in a previous video, when you make arroz con gandule, or rice with any sort of bean inside of it, and other vegetables, you have to kind of take into account that they'll release water. So we'll get to that. For now, let me get to the rice, and I'll show you how to put everything together. Alright, here we have my nice pot. I wish I had a nice big open mouth caldero, wide mouth caldero, but I don't have one. So we'll just deal with it. I got all the rest of my ingredients on the side here off camera. I did want to show you that the different seasonings we put onto the chicken, I'm going to put this into the rice. Okay? So this is about a teaspoonful of each of those ingredients that we had there for the rice. Okay. I'm going to get this pot up to heat. It is going to be on high right now just to get it hot. Right in there, I'm going to put in my oil, my olive oil. That's about 2 teaspoonfuls of olive oil. Get it nice and hot. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoonfuls of my recaito or sofrito, the green or the red. And as I said before, the one I have here is very dark because it was frozen in the back of the fridge, which is absolutely fine. It'll cook up the same way as if you made it yesterday. I forgot to get the oil on the sides there, but that's fine. To that, I'm going to add my pepper, my garlic, my onion, I had this on very high, but I'm going to take it down to medium. Okay. Give it a nice stir. everything. Okay. Now, actually, maybe get a dab more of oil in there, a little more. To this is an option. You can add that tomato sauce I showed you earlier. I'm gonna go for about half of this tin of tomato sauce, so that's about 4 ounces. Okay, smells awfully good. Now that tomato sauce is kind of cold, so it brought the temperature of the pot down, which is fine, it'll come back up. Okay, now to that, I'm going to add, I had 2 cups of rice. Now, as I've told you in the past, when it comes to rice, it's 2 to 1, or 1 to 2, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, or liquid, or broth, right? But in this instance, because all of these ingredients are going to be releasing... Actually, no, I'm wrong. Oh my God, scratch that. We got to put our chicken in. I'm going crazy. I'm bugging out. Oh my goodness. That would have been a terrible mistake. We're going to put our chicken in. Dude, I'm talking about the rice. We're not even ready yet. But the point I want to make about the rice is we're going to cut it down to 1 to 1. 1 for 1. So 1 cup of rice. 1 cup of water. We're going to put our chicken in. There we go. And what we want to do is get the chicken nice and coated with all this goodness. Okay. Oh my God, it smells lovely. Okay, again, this chicken was in the fridge, so it brought the temperature down. But what we can do is bring it up a little bit, not much, just to get it nice and heated and combined with everything. So remember, our chicken is seasoned. We have our Recaito, Sofirto, whichever you decide to use. That is going to be very beautiful, a very beautiful result when we're done with this. Okay, going back to the rice, remember, 1 cup rice, 1 cup water. Why? Because all of these delicious ingredients is going to release water into the pot. Now, if you want to use a little more water, some people say that they like their water or their rice mushy. That's up to you. But I'm going to go for 1 cup of rice corresponding to 1 cup of water, maybe a tad more, or as we said before, you can use broth, you can use another sort of liquid. Okay, I'm going to let this cook here for about 2 minutes. Okay, I covered it and let it go for about 2 minutes. I don't want the tomato sauce to burn out. So at this point, we're going to put in our liquid. So, like I said, we have 2 cups of rice, so I'm going to go on ahead with 2 of water. Going to give this a stirring. Get some of that nice stuff off of the side there. And looking at it, you know what, I'm going to add a little more water. Just a little more. Okay? And what I want to happen here, I want this to cook the chicken out further. Because really we just kind of like stir fried it, we didn't really cook it. So, kind of like making soup. I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to let this go for about a good, maybe 8-9 minutes. We'll come back to it. I'm going to get it back to medium. All right. People, I forgot a very important step. I set this pot and I sat down. We're going to add our seasonings to this. Remember all those seasonings I said put to the side? There are those of us who use foil packets of Sazon or adobo. I prefer to mix the Sazon myself. So I'm going to put that in there. Give it a mixing. Now we're going to let this cook for about a good, 8-7 minutes. And we'll come back to it. Put the heat up a little bit too. Alright. Alright, my friends. About 9 minutes have passed. 8-9 minutes. Woo! Is that smoking in your face? And this is just to get the chicken cooked. I mean, we're going to continue cooking it. But at this point, we're going to start putting in our rice. And there we go. Like I said, 2 cups of rice. Oh man, I brought that heat down too quick. I brought it down too quick. I'm going to bring it back to medium. Rice is in there, and we're going to give it a stir. Just to get everything nice and combined. You see the vegetables in there, you see the chunks of pollo, chicken. Okay, smells wonderful. And now we're going to let this cook with the pot open as if we're cooking any other sort of rice, as I've showed you before. Because what we want is for the liquid to evaporate. And when the liquid is mostly evaporated, we're going to cover it and let it go, not for 10 minutes. We're going to let it go maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending. We'll come back and check on it. But you see the main difference, as I've mentioned before, and I'm stressing it, we used 1 cup of liquid per 1 cup of rice, right? We boiled the chicken to get the chicken cooked, and now it's going to further cook with this next step. Okay, so right now it is on medium, toward high. We don't want to burn it out either, and we're gonna let it sit here so that it absorbs a lot of that water. Some of that water evaporates. Okay, so we're gonna come back to this. I think it should take me about 10 minutes for this next step. All right. A good 8 minutes have passed. A lot of the liquid has dried up. What I want to do is, you see the chicken also came up and the rest of the vegetables. I want to give this a nice stirring, because if you don't stir the stuff, the rice and the veggies will stay on the bottom. But I don't want to stir it too much either, because I don't want the rice to turn mushy. Alright, so that's good. So I'm going to turn this into a little mountain here. Let me dislodge some of that rice that's deep. Okay. This is why a good caldero, a wide-mouthed bowl is much, or pot is much more better for this. But wide mouth, it's a biblical reference. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to simmer it. And it's going to stay on here. Ooh, I'm kicking the camera, sorry. It's going to stay on here for a good 20-25 minutes. And I keep kicking the camera. What's wrong with me? Good 20 to 25 minutes. Okay? Then we're going to come back and take a look at how our arroz con pollo came out. I'm so excited. My kitchen smells delicious. Alright. Alright guys, so here is my arroz con pollo. Oh man, it's so good. I ate a little before recording this. The rice is tender and delicious. Chicken's chunks are very good. You see my red pepper, green pepper, onion. And I actually meant to serve this with a salad and some either tostones or maduros. And I thought I had plantains, and I don't. I also checked my vegetable crisper. I could have sworn I had a nice head of romaine lettuce. So I'm not gonna have a vegetable, but you know, and I should, because it's not really balanced. It's not a balanced meal. But what I did make yesterday are some ribs. So I'm gonna have my arroz con pollo with some beef ribs, and the veggies that's in there and the rice will have to do in terms of my vegetable. All right. I'm thinking of calling this the barnyard meal, because you got the cow and the chicken. All that's missing is like a pig or something. I don't know.